Hello. How are we doing today? Welcome. We are doing our live stream for Artbeat Studio today, and it is a sunny, bright Wednesday. Hello, I'm Marissa. I am here today in the comfort of my living room, which I have turned into a makeshift art space right now. By that, I mean I have covered my table with masking paper. I don't know what type of paper this is. Brown paper, packing paper. The type of paper that is a little water resistant, but not proof. So if you spill something on it, it's gonna keep you safe a little bit. So I'm covering that on my table. And I don't know, I like working on my couch and it being lower to the ground than a typical kitchen table. I think it's a little fun. Whatever. Yes, but hello. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome here. We are an organization called Artbeat Studio, and we believe in the power of mindfulness and creating art to have such a positive impact on you and your well-being and your day-to-day life. Hello, Studio Central. Nice to see you. Thanks for watching. But we believe that community and art can have such a positive impact on you as a person and just how you go day to day. And creativity, as we've learned from a lot of our workshops we've done, creativity does not just fall in visual art. And by visual art, I mean painting, drawing, pastels. It is wider than that, of course. Creativity can lie in making music, playing music, even listening to music, and creating playlists of your favorite songs. That's creating something. It can be making movies, it can be taking pictures, it can be baking or cooking. As we saw on Monday, it could be styling your hair a different way and braiding your hair. And even movements, mindful movements and creative dancing or acting. There's so much. It's such a broad category. Really, I just take it as anything that you find lets you unwind, relax, just focus on something different for about 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, however long you do it, just a way to give yourself a break for the day. So that's why I like doing these art workshops and following along with our 1 o'clock demos, just because it's a nice way to cut up the day, if we're especially staying at home all the time and things can kind of start looking the same every now and then. Just kind of setting that 1 o'clock time aside and being able to see a familiar face, one of my coworkers or one of our lovely artists that are in the program, and watch them, follow along, comment, because we are live, so I can see any comments that go down. It's just a nice way to cut up the day. If you have noticed, this beautiful, shout out to our lovely artist, this beautiful large photograph behind my head. Oh my goodness gracious. It's really stunning. And it is very large. It's like 2 feet by 3 feet plus a frame. This was actually a photograph by an artist from Artbeat Studio. And I had gotten this in a art auction that we did a couple months ago, maybe last month, October? I don't remember. Everything's blending together. But nonetheless, an artist from Artbeat Studio, this was their art. I had purchased it. It makes my living room so bright, and I love plants, so it adds. I have plants on my wall now, beautiful daisies. But we are closed physically, but they're still open online. So you can visit their website, you can go on their Instagram and see different art that they have for sale there, and send them a direct message or something of that sort, so you can kind of browse and do some shopping that way. It's fun. Enough of that. I hope you have either a lovely snack or a beverage that you are soothing your soul with right now. I have a hot cup of coffee that I just made. I wonder if you can see the steam. No, you can't. It's okay. It's hot nonetheless, so I will be sipping it slow. But it's always good to, you know, put yourself at ease in multiple ways. I have music also playing in the background. It's very quiet, so hopefully you don't hear it too much, but that's all right. Today, we're gonna be doing something fun. Not a typical or traditional type of visual art, again, but it's something that's important, and it's something you can do with very mixed materials. You don't even have to have anything specifically art related. Like, you don't need paint, you don't need glue. I threw those in my material list just because I might use them today, I might not, I don't know. We'll see what this world takes us in. But we are going to be doing upcycling your jewelry. What could that mean? It means if you have some old jewelry lying around, and I have, my mother calls it the costume jewelry. It's not real. I got it from, I don't know, like an H&M or store like that. Or some of these I even made myself, and I just am not feeling the color it's in anymore or the style it's in. I've just never worn it, and I've had it for so long. Or even stuff I've picked up at the thrift store, like Value Village. You know, I love it when I get it because it's like cool and cheap, and I'm gonna wear it, and I never do. So what better way to try and get myself to wear these jewelry than customize it, upcycle it, make it my own. There are many ways I can do that, but I will let you know what I'm working with for jewelry today. So I have on my table here, and I will flip around so you stop seeing me zoom in so much to my face. I have a necklace here. So this is like, I don't know, a very short chain of a necklace with a little V on it. I don't know why I got the V. I think it's just supposed to be a triangle, but my name doesn't start with a V, so why do I have this? We're gonna make it look cool today, hopefully, if it all turns out. This is going to be a learning process for both of us. And now I don't have any jewelry making tools. I don't have like pliers or even like accessories and baubles to add on this. I don't even have beads. So this is why it's going to be a learning process. I'm showing you that you can work with very minimal materials and hopefully make something cool. That's one thing I'm going to have. And then another thing I have is these. They are a little pair of earrings that I tried making once. Hello. However, I think they're lovely. Like, I don't know if you can see, getting in real close here. I don't know if you can see like the color, but they're very like peachy pink. They have stripes on them. I thought they were beautiful on like when I'm holding them. When I put them on, it makes my ear look like it's stretched like an inch wide. Wasn't the look I was going for. So I'm thinking these maybe just need a new color. So that can be an easy way of upcycling jewelry just by painting it. But I'm gonna try painting it with like a dip technique. Never tried that before. We don't know if it's gonna work. But the only way to try is to try it together, I think. My materials, if you didn't have a chance to look at the material list I sent out, it's very scattered. Mostly I have a ball, not a ball, it's a little lump of yarn. I have some black yarn that I'm gonna try and make something fringed on that necklace. I've seen this done before with embroidery string or thread. I don't have embroidery string or thread. I thought I maybe did, I do not. So we're gonna see how this works. It might be messy and chaotic, but that could be the theme of today, and that's all right. With that fringed type of necklace I'm going to try and make, the other pieces that I would need for that are a pair of scissors, which I do have off camera, and I did not lie, I have scissors. Those are very large, and I should not have put them that close to my face. And this comb. As you can see, I have broken this comb trying to do this exercise off camera. So it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, it's just one of those like, I don't know, you can get these, I got this at the dollar store. One of those fine toothed combs. I think they call this a rat tail comb because it has that like long tail. But that's what I need for those, that fringed look. And then the other stuff I have, I've seen some folks use like a glue to adhere the string to if they're having some problem with that. So I have some Mod Podge off camera that we can also use. And then I have paint. I have a ultramarine deep blue. Ooh, that should be fun. Now, this is not an acrylic paint. This is a wash paint. Wash? One of those paints. So I like these because you can mix them with lots of water and it turns out magnificent on paper. I have never tried attaching this to an item that is not paper. So we don't know if it's gonna stick or not, but I think we should try that first. Go on a high note here. Okay, I'm gonna flip you around so you can see my workspace. Hello. Okay. You'll also notice that I have a fun little cork surface. The reason I have that cork surface is I thought this might help. I have some pins that I'm gonna try when I'm working on this piece, pinning the necklace to the ground so it's not flying around everywhere. It might not work, but I thought it maybe looked nice. So that's the story behind this surface. That's that. All right, well, I said, let's try these earrings out first. See, they really are the same color as my skin. This was the one issue, I think. I was very optimistic with this necklaces. I think it's just the way that those earrings sit on me too. They look a little funny, but all right, well, let's try this dip technique. I might lift up the camera a teeny bit, so bear with me as you take a little ride up and probably shake a little bit because my tripod is not fresh and clean. There we go. Bird's eye view. Great. So I have now this paint, and I think in order for us to use it, I would love to protect this beautiful cork surface that I have. I don't want to get paint on it. So that's where I have this nice paper that we're gonna cover whenever we're using a wet or sticky type of medium. We want to make sure we cover our surfaces. Okay. So what I think I'm gonna try and do, like I said, I don't want to brush these because brushing is boring. I want to try and dip it. So I'm going to make, this might not turn out, but I'm going to make a type of very liquidy based paint. I thought this would be really easy using this type of wash paint. Let's put a lot in there. I will use that later for something else. So don't think I am wasting here. This is also why I did it in a tub, so I can reuse it. So now I have my water and my big blob of paint here, and I'm going to add it in. Hopefully that was not too much water. And oh, how magical. Do you see it coming off right there already? Might have been too much water. Let's add a little bit there. Okay. Have my brush. Now I am planning on using this brush for glue, so I'm going to use the back of it to mix, and we are just going to let this paint really go. And you can see how pigmented and strong and beautiful this type of paint is. I really don't know what this is going to do. I have a feeling we might be starting off with a fail, but this is beautiful nonetheless. And if it does not work, we can definitely use this to paint something. As you see, oh, look how bright and just I'm painting on here even. Bright and beautiful this is. Has this turned into a painting workshop? Maybe. Okay, well, as you can see, there's a little bit of water on top, but all around, there's like a thick, oh, and I use the bottom of this brush too. I'm gonna have to wash this anyway. There's like a nice thick layer to it. So let's just give it a try. Why not? Oh, this paint is so beautiful, by the way. Okay, we are going to take this earring and dip it in. I don't know if this is gonna do, I think. Oh, it did nothing. Look at that. Too much water added. That's fair. Okay, next idea, we're just gonna paint directly on it. Like I said, why not start off strong with this type? And this might actually be kind of cool, where it's like not a straight blue that comes on. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of like spider webbing out with all the liquid. I think that's pretty cool. But, ooh, look at that nice rich blue color. So again, simplest, easiest way for you to upcycle something is just painting it. So, and I had acrylic as well, but I did want to use this type of paint because it still maintains a good pigment even when you thin it out. And with that, maybe we would still see the pattern underneath of what it is. So that is the method behind this. And it is just a really stunning blue. So now, even if these earrings come out from the side of my head, I think it's still gonna look very lovely with this bright blue, rather than nobody's gonna think I have a bright blue earlobe. I mean, they may. I'm not sure. So that's really it. The thing is, it is quite difficult to paint a 3D object. As you can see, my fingers are getting quite dirty with that, but I'll give them a quick wash before we go on to our next type of upcycling here. But this could be something, you know, again, I tried it with a different type of paint. If we used an acrylic, we might have been able to get that dip going a little bit better. But this is just a really quick way. And then after we get it at the one shade, we can add another coating. We could add another color. We can maybe do like a fun yellow with this, but get on here. Paint it up. Ooh. Again, so difficult because I'm holding it by like the little spot where you connect your ear to. It's really hard to hold and not get completely dirty. But that is art, I think, getting down crafty in there. Okay, so here we go. We have a different color earring. Easy upcycle. And again, you can always add more layers to it. You can add a different color. I tried to make this a little bit more watered down so you can see, again, like I said, it won't be a sharp, opaque dip. It would be more of like a see-through, so you can still kind of see the lines that I would do underneath. But I don't know how it's turning out. We'll put that off to the side to dry. So that is one type of upcycling. But we all are here to see the different type. I'm gonna put this right over here. Whoop. Get that there. Wash my hands real quick. Okay, so the next type of upcycling we're going to do, as I wash this brush, in case I do want to use this for the glue, now I have a clean brush again. We are going to do this type of work with the necklaces. Oh, hey, Kim. Oh, you can't stay, but you want to say hello? Well, thank you for popping in and saying hello. So lovely for you to stop on by. And we'll post this up later on YouTube too, or up so you can rewatch it anytime too. Okay, so we are going to do that next type of upcycling, and that is with making a fringed pendant on the necklace here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so we can see better. So again, like I said, this is done with a type of embroidery thread, which I don't have. I'm just using what I did have around the house at home, which is some yarn. So I have my scissors here that I need and my thread. So I tried this a little earlier and I really found it easier if I started with some longer thread, worked through it that way. So what I'm going to do is cut it probably, I don't know, let's say about that long. Also, you can see I have blue finger now because of that first exercise we did with painting those earrings. I don't know, let's say here. That'll be good because we have lots of string to work with. So I'm going to cut it about, I would say 4 or 5 inches, and I'm going to do a few of those. I'm going to try my hardest not to fray the string as much because that won't be good. So we want to get a few lengths of this, of course, or a few couple strands getting ready. Because ideally what we're gonna do is we're gonna have this whole area fringed there. So what I did is I measured 1 string out, and now I am just going back and forth, trying to get this length moderately equal and even. And of course after we can always trim it, so you don't have to be too tedious and perfect on how long these strings are going to be. Okay, that's quite a lot. We'll probably cut some more and need some more in a bit, but we'll get the main idea here. So we have our string. I want to cut the tops off here so we have it as all separate, not one long coily string. Easy. Okay, so we have our string there and we have our necklace. So what we are going to try and do, and I might have cut these strings far too long, and we'll find out in a moment. What we are going to do is we are going to line the whole area here, this whole pendant in the V, with this thread. And then we're going to tie it together and then brush it out. So it'll be quite simple with the steps, really. Just we'll have to use so many, so it might take some time. But what we'll do is we will make the string that was straight out here, we'll make it into a little loop, just like that, little upside down U, and then we will pinch these together and put our necklace piece on top, and then pull those little 2 strings through. Like that, and we'll pull tight. Now, this string I have comes loose very easily. So once we fill out this whole piece, we're going to do something where we tie the pieces to each other, but we're not there yet. We have quite a lot more string to add on. So next, again, take another string, make that loop form, and put the necklace in there. And I'm wondering if it might even be nicer to go the other way around. Maybe. But too late now. Okay, well, put it over top and pull those 2 little strings through, pull it tight, and on to the next one. So this is our basic technique of how we are going to get this necklace done. Again, make that loop, go underneath, and pull tight. And we have a very fun connection of thread right here. Trust me, this is going to look moderately fashionable. It might look extremely fashionable, but we will never know until we get there in the end. So pull that one tight again. Okay. I mean, it's looking moderately cool. Got a lot of coverage there. I wonder if I can zoom in a little bit. I cannot. That's all right. Okay, so now I've seen this type of exercise done with a pendant that is a circle. So we are trying something a little different by going with a V form. Could be to our advantage, could not. We don't know. We will only find out at the end. Also, this is an inexpensive necklace, so as I was pulling tight, I did feel that the pendant itself was bending a little bit, so I do have to be quite cautious and careful of that. Don't want to break the necklace before we make it into something new. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Another string. And you could do this with any color string, of course, obviously. I actually was thinking about making this into like a hot pink color because that would be very cool and fun. But for some reason that string and that type of yarn was just very loose. More loose than this black one actually, even though this one was very, very soft and silky. And it just kept coming undone as I was working through it. So we didn't want that. Okay, so again, just making that loop. And this is why these strings are so long, is just so it's easier for me to work with. Oopsies. We wanted to make it easier for me. I will, of course, cut that whole piece there. And something that could be nice too is we could leave a little bit of the gold showing. And if we do choose to do that, I have, like I said, I have this Mod Podge just off to the side here. It's like a type of glue or finish that you can put on. It's actually really great, very cheap too, and an inexpensive item you can use for your crafting. I believe I purchased mine at Michael's, but I think you can also get it at Dollarama. And another cool thing about Mod Podge, something maybe we'll do in a future workshop, you can actually use it to transfer photos onto wood, which is very cool to make like a personalized gift or type of art piece. All you have to do, I believe, get like a laser printed copy of your work. So just not an inkjet printer, using laser printer. Because I think the ink might bleed. I don't know for certain though. And getting that, printing off your picture, covering it with the Mod Podge. I call it Mod for short. I think that's incorrect. Covering it with the Mod Podge and then letting it dry, peeling it off with a wet wipe of sorts. And that's really it. It's quite simple. Okay, well this is actually turning into something. Have this nice fringe here. And as you can see, when I pull it down, get it tight, it really connects to the bottom and makes itself look like it's almost not that connected. So we'll maybe add, I don't know, I would say like 3 to 4 more strands on each side. And then go to our next step of customizing this piece here. So I have to cut off more string because I want them again roughly the same size. I'm going to do that trick I did again where I had 1 string and I just keep measuring it and pulling it off to the sides. So there, turn and pull, pinch, turn, pull, pinch. I have this wonderful basket of yarn that I keep beside my couch. I feel like the intention was that I wanted to do make pom-poms as I watched TV or something, but I haven't ever done that. So maybe that'll be an activity for me to do tonight. Just do some pom-poms and TV. Okay, well, we have our things. Hello, Marcia, how are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. We are upcycling and customizing our old jewelry today. And I would not consider myself a jewelry artist by any means. I do not have any of the tools necessary for that type of art, but I think that I like wearing jewelry. Not I think, I know I like wearing jewelry. So, you know, how can we make jewelry making accessible is what our workshop is today. If I can do it, you can do it too. All you need is some yarn and an old necklace. Truly. So I am just doing these very careful tie arounds, and I was actually looking earlier about maybe some type of like macrame knotting, but I don't know if I have never practiced that before. It looks so intense and beautiful. You know how they have like those macrame plant holders? Oh. And I actually do have a pair of macrame earrings. Well, one earring and then the other one is a ceramic earring, but I have a pair of macrame ones that I got from an artist, actually, from one of the later groups at Artbeat. I think it was group 31. And speaking of group 31, actually, is we have a book launch coming up for them. You know, there's an annual that comes out every year about the two groups who go through the Artist in Residency program at Artbeat. And what that is, it's a 6-month sort of intensive program where you have a studio space that is given to you for free, and you go there and kind of add that as your sort of understanding and sort of healing process through your own mental health journey, finding ways to cope and all that stuff. So that's one of those things that we offer as an organization at Artbeat, and we produce a book every year showcasing the work of the artists who have gone through our program that past time. So that's actually out at the printers right now, and it is coming out on December 15th. So we are doing a broadcasted, we normally have this event at McNally Robinson, but we can't, of course, because of they are closed and we are at home. So we are doing it online. We are doing it over Zoom, like a type of webinar, and there'll be speakers, there'll be the artists. I think there'll be a Q&A, so you can chat with some of the folks there. But yeah. Oh, I totally missed a message that you just said there, Marcia. Your bin of jewelry making stuff. Ooh, simple bracelets are just so nice though. Like I said, I don't have any, I tangled this. I don't have any beads or strings or stuff like that. I just have some yarn, but those would be really interesting to get my hands onto, some beadwork. So I would love to see what you're working with and working on. Okay, I am going to begin this next step of this necklace here because it is getting loose and keeps coming off and tangling. So right now we have this V pendant. If I pull it tight, it gets down really far to the bottom, but when I let go of it, it's gonna pop up. So what we are going to do, and this is where I brought those pins to see if that would help at all keep this down. I don't know if it will, but we're gonna give it a try. So I have 2 pins, and I'm going to pin it to my surface. I'm working on the cork surface, and that might work. We'll see. So I have my necklace here, and I am now going to connect these pieces to each other. So as we were watching, I took the yarn, made a loop, and kind of tied it around that way. And what we are going to do is take this, so pull them tight, but again, not too tight that we bend the wiring in this necklace here. But we are going to take 2 strands like that. So just 2 strands that we've done, and we're going to pull them tight, and to keep them locked as this tightness, we are going to tie the middle strands. So the two strands that meet each other in the middle, we're gonna tie those two together. So this is kind of like some tips that I found in that macrame jewelry making videos that I was watching earlier today. So we did the two together, now we have these two meeting each other, and we're gonna tie these, and it's just tying in a simple single knot. Tie that tight, push that off to the side, grab the next one, that is in twos, pull that tight, and take the middle section that meets and tie it. Oops. Tie it tight. Okay. And this is what I'm going to do the whole way around. So just taking this middle piece, and you can see the lines, the lengths aren't even, but we're going to trim it after this. So it is all right. So take the middle and this one, give that a tie, and pull it tight. Maybe this will be my gateway into doing macrame. I feel like it's very similar, you know, taking one string from the past one. It's just, macrame is just fancy knots. It really shouldn't be something we're all afraid of. Well, I'm speaking for everyone. I'm the one who's nervous by it. But I feel like it's quite simple. Just gotta take the plunge, I guess. Okay, tie a knot. Pull it tight. And this is where that glue is gonna come in place. I've seen after folks that I've seen sort of do these fringed necklace techniques, I've seen them take a little bit of a glue or something and connect it that way to itself. So we'll see how long, how connecting it is. If it doesn't work, we might need to attach some glue. Or do this with another knot. That could add another macrame element. Okay, so we have the one here. I'm gonna take the next, pull that tight, take the string, put that all to the side. Take the string that is closest to the one we just made and do a simple knot. Lovely. Go over to the next. I hope these aren't coming off too much. Ooh. It'd be great if I did alternating colors. This would make it a lot easier, but I did not. So or if I was wearing glasses, also would make it easier. Nope, I didn't. I didn't choose any of the above. This is just getting tricky now. Okay, we have one. Take that string, take the one that is closest to the one we just tied, and tie this again. Tight. Pull it tight and put it off to its friends right beside. So, okay, next, take the section of the two and take the one closest to the one we just tied and tie those around. Oh. Tied, okay. And the next. Hopefully this helps with it not sliding around so much. I mean, those pins have really helped at the top, but we'll see after this. And maybe we need to add one more tie down. So take those, tie it tight, put that there, and the next. This one's connected. Pull that tight, and the one closest by. So we have here my string, the one closest by from those two that we tied in. Take the one string beside it and tie that knot. Tie it tight and put it there. Oh, two left. Okay, so we have So then we're gonna pull tight as is. Take the one string that's closest, tie it in a knot. Put that down. And our last one, okay, so we're gonna take that, pull it tight, take the one side that was closest, tie it in a knot. Okay, how did this turn out? Let's remove these 2 pins. So now it's not gonna, it would fly around much more. Okay, that's not that bad. That actually tied itself in very nicely. And it is quite nice because we do have now just it going halfway around, and we have the gold sticking out there, which I quite like. I think we maybe need to work on the ends a little bit. Everything in here is quite nice, but these ends are kind of bouncing up and flying around. So maybe let's just figure out how we can do this. I am making this all up on the spot, just to let you all know. Maybe we can do like a double notch. Because I think the string that we used is, again, so loose that it may need it to be tied twice to really benefit. Okay, we're gonna do one more tie down. Tie it twice, this one, and then comes the really fun part of us creating that fringe. So I'm gonna take my pins again and pin it down here so I don't need to sort of juggle with it as we're tying our knots. I have a cork, working on a cork board so it doesn't go flying around as I'm doing my knot tying here. So we're just gonna tie it one more time. Almost like we're double knotting it. And hopefully we should have it a little bit more secure. So let's just see. Again, really wishing I did not just use one color for this because it is very hard to see all the colors and the strings, how they go. Okay. So maybe let's just tie the strings beside each other. And we're gonna do a double knot to make it tight. Or maybe just the edges. I'm doing a lot of talking to myself right now, I'm sorry. I'm just double tying these edges here, and I feel like that might actually solve our trick here. Just a little double knot. Oh yes. How does that work? It looks like a crazy whiskery sensation. Okay, well, I think let's add that one more knot around. So definitely do not forget your glasses when you are doing this work, because you are going to need the extra sight, my friends. It is quite the challenge. And again, I'm trying to tie these knots with big loops. That's why I have so much string added on. Just because I don't want to pull out and fray the string just yet. We're gonna do that in the next step. But I wanna make sure that it's easier to manage right now. Trying to get the string from one side and this side, and just give it another tie. We're gonna go all the way around. And you notice I'm pulling much tighter on this time around. I was trying to do it tight the other time, but this is really just gonna emphasize that lock. So what we're just doing is we're going around with those ties we did a moment ago and just double knotting them. So trying to find where they are, pulling them tight, and then giving them another tie to really emphasize the staying put. Okay, almost done. Oops. Where is your tied partner? There you are. Tie that tight. This one here. Oops. Tie this one tight. Tie it tight. One more. It's also the thing with jewelry making is it is such a process. You really don't take the work you made for granted afterwards. Okay, so we have completed that tying work. I wonder if you can look really closely, you can see the start of some type of fringed mess slash masterpiece. I have a loose one here. I'm gonna just give it one more tie. And that's my attempt. I'm not gonna say this is an attempt at macrame because that was not, but just having an extra look over, seeing what is getting loose, where we can give it another tie, and comes the fun part. So just for the sake of keeping it a little tame, we are going to give a quick little trim. Very, very, very quick. Just what we have right now. And this is where the brush comes in handy. So we're going to comb it out a little bit. And we can see here. This is where it becomes also fun because we want to see like what kind of pattern we're going to make. I think it would be nice to have like maybe an extra, I don't know, you can make like a circle. That might be very tough. But I think I'm going to just put this here and take my bigger scissors. That way it can act like a straight edge. Take my bigger scissors and cut it across. And this is just our first initial cut. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just getting a lot of the main part out of the way. And we're gonna go on this side, brush it across a bit, put it here. Did I take hairdressing? You can see by my form, can't you? No, I definitely did not. It's just my, it's the quarantine cuts, let me tell you that. I've been cutting my hair. Well, I actually have been cutting my own hair for quite longer than the quarantine. But it's just my messy technique. Okay, now here's going to be our fun part is we are going to move those pins out of the way so we don't lose them. Take our rat tail comb, as you can see. It's loved because it has a tooth or two missing, and just brush it out. So this is where we really wanted to know that our knots were tight because we are going to do lots of pulling here. When I first did this, I did lose quite a lot of strands. And you want to do it with a little bit of gentleness, you know. As you can see, I'm losing quite a lot, but you still are going to get a nice finished look. You don't want it to be too thick. But I would do it because you are still working with a piece of jewelry or a piece of art. I would do it with a little bit of care. Pretend you are, I don't know, this kind of looks like dog hair, so pretend you are brushing a pet. You don't want to pull too tight, but they have a knot, so you gotta get it out. But don't pull too tight. You gotta be gentle with your loving necklace. So go on this side and brush out these. That's also the thing with yarn, is it gets very fuzzy after a while when you're doing it. And it could be the type of yarn you're using. I don't know what type this is. It might be just like an acrylic. Weavers, if you're watching, help me out. But, okay. So we have so much fuzz. This is also why I did it in black, because I didn't want pink fuzz everywhere. Black fuzz, I'm wearing a black sweater already, so I don't really mind. But, okay. We are getting somewhere with this fuzzy pendant. Now, this is really where you can see how it's going to look at the end. We can more cut it to a desired shape. And this is even when we can go in with that Mod Podge and secure it even better. So right now I have this very fuzzy tassel time here. You can see it's a little bit wider on that side. I think we maybe just have more stringed pieces on the other side. We're gonna want this to be a little more tame. I can feel some knots coming loose here, or just creating more knots. Yep, we just created a big knot there. That's okay. That's what scissors are for. I'm just gonna cut that knot loose. Okay. So this is just like that pom-pom workshop, that now we have our form mostly figured out. This is where you get to really play. You can keep brushing it. You can cut it into a shape. We can seal it with that Mod Podge after. I love Mod Podge because our lovely friend Kate Kaplan, she does a lot of our workshops. She always uses Mod Podge to seal everything. And gesso, she loves gesso too, but I have Mod Podge. So that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of her. Okay, let's cut this into a more desired shape, I think. And then that'll be our piece here. So we want to have it spread out. As you can clearly see again, the weight and balance of how many hairs are on what side is not equal, but that's okay. So we're gonna use that same technique we did before. We're gonna use our brush as a straight edge, or a comb, and comb out the pieces as straight as we can. And I think, why don't we just go crazy and cut it like straight across at the bottom here? That could be fun. Okay, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut it straight across. Whoa, might be crazy. We might regret this cut after, but this is how it's gonna go. So, going to brush it all down, and then we're going to take our comb. We're gonna take our scissors, cut it straight across. That is not a straight across cut, Marissa. Oops. This is answer your question, Marcia, if I'm a hairdresser or not. No, I am not. If you want me to cut your hair, step on up. I can do it for you for sure. Maybe we'll put it in my hand. Now I feel like a hairdresser. Look at me. Take our scissors again. There we go. So we have some crazy pendant here with our pieces off to the side, and that piece is coming off a little bit. That's okay. But this looks a lot different than how we started. So I think that is a win that we have successfully upcycled our jewelry. And with this, of course, if you want it to like spread out a little bit, we can. Again, it's just nice to like be trimming pieces. I really actually like the idea of having more of a rounded shape. Now let it spread out a bit. Why not? That's fun. There we go. Done. Let us flip back around. Hello. Oh, we've been here so long, the sun has really made its presence. But here we are. Whoop. We have a necklace that was just a simple little V formation, and now let's tilt this a little bit so you can see on us. Now, because I'm wearing black, oh, that's fun. Look at that. I feel like I could wear this in meetings and just be petting it the whole time because it is very soft, fun to play with. So that is a very spur of the moment way to do your jewelry in a different way, to upcycle your jewelry. I'm gonna get myself out of the sun because I cannot see. But there we are. And you can't as well see because I am wearing black and it is hard to see our art here. There we go. Kind of a crazy fashion choice, fashion statement. We got a little bit of a long hair there. That's okay. And yeah, upcycling jewelry. I have my painted earring. It is on the floor, so I can get that and take a picture of it later. But, oh, you know what? I have a white surface here. I'm gonna cut this one string. Ooh, because it is too long. There we go. We needed a white surface. You couldn't really see what the work was. But I think it actually kind of looks like a top a little bit. There we go. Upcycling jewelry. Again, I had no jewelry tools. I just used some yarn and a pair of scissors and a good attitude. And here we are. I had something fun made out of that. So do it with your own stuff you have at home. Or, you know, if you do have some beads and string, you could do that. Or if you already have skill in it or want to try your hand at the sacred macrame techniques, show me. You need to record a video and show us how to do that because that is quite a skill, I would say, to have. But there you are. That is our workshop for today. Thank you for joining in with this bright, bright sun. I hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday and join us tomorrow for a workshop with James. He will be doing an acrylic workshop. So he'll be teaching us the joys of acrylic painting, most likely doing a landscape. So on that note, happy Wednesday. Wear some jewelry today, even if you're at home. Jewelry is the best way to make yourself a little peppy and happy. And if it's fun and furry just like this one, I think so too. Cool. Well, see you guys later.